Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ride the Nine Tour. I want someone to Ride the Nine Tour. Sorry, we were just taking a quick peek at our phone for messages, um, among other things. Tonight, I would like to welcome Alan Ellison of Billiard Livestream. You've probably heard of him. He's an amazing live streamer, and we're going to kind of tap into the mind tonight of what live streamers do. So, uh, what live streamers do. As you can see, he has an amazing setup. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to say hi to Alan. He's going to introduce himself as well. And please introduce your sponsors, Alan. And then we're going to dig a little bit into Billiard Livestream and what he does and what it takes. And we're also going to have Curtis join us as well. So let's get started.
All righty. Obviously, first off, thanks very much for inviting me on here. You've had some absolutely amazing people on here, so I don't know if we're just trying to lower the bar a little bit or what. But as Gloria said, I'm Alan Ellison from Billiard Livestream, and just really glad to be here with all of you. You can see we're kind of sitting. This is sort of behind the scenes. We don't get to see a whole lot of this. It's usually over on the other side of the wall. So it's actually kind of fun to be on this side and talking a little bit. So
Yeah, I mean, so so Alan, as you can see, has like one of the sickest setups I've seen in a long time. When I
thank
first
you.
met Alan, you're welcome. When I first met Alan, I was like, oh, okay. So I had not been really familiar with Billiard Livestream, but we started streaming virtual tournaments when COVID hit. We had really no other choice because that's what the tour did. And anyway, I was introduced to Alan a couple of years later, and I thought, I was like, wow, we have a pretty decent setup now. So then Alan comes on in a Zoom meeting, in a former, how can I say this? We were kind of colleagues at one point,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, uh, Alan went from like that. I was like, and like no attention, no offense, was like right on Alan. Everything was like, oh my gosh, look at that sick setup. So tell us a little bit about. First, we're going to talk about your setup, right? And then we're going to talk about what it kind of takes, the behind the scenes, um, uh, when it comes to the setup. So please.
Okay, so this actually consists of kind of two different parts. One is obviously what you're seeing back here behind me, and this is it's a soundproof booth that we built. That actually I would say that it started in the other room. I'll give you a real quick story about how it kind of came about. I was actually in a previous home, like most people. You've got a 9-foot table sitting in a garage, and we threw a camera on there. Started back roughly around 2017, but it was just friends going out there and shooting a few and playing around a little bit. We moved into a new home because number one, planning on a family and kids and needed something a little bit bigger. And my wife talked me into this one because it had like a separate building. She knew that I wanted two diamond tables instead of just the one, so we could have a 7 and a 9-foot. So we build. Get this place and kind of finish a little room over here on the side. It's the one that's called Taking Shots, like you see here, and you'll see on our live streams. And then all of a sudden it started. It started with just a couple of cameras on there and a couple of people playing around. We were doing little mini tournaments at the house, things like that. COVID hit, just like you said. Real good friend of mine down here in Florida, Dominic Dunn. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of him. He was doing some streaming of some matches. And then people wanted to play here. And then it went to another camera and another camera and a PC and a little bit of this. And next thing you know, it grew into somewhere between a passion and an obsession. And we built this separate room on here because we could hear what was going on in there. And and now we have, I think it's 11, I believe it's 11 cameras in there. The setup that we've got inside of here takes 4 PCs to be able to run. We've got like the touchscreen for being able to do the telestrator. We've got a touchscreen monitor on the side that's got some programming that I had written myself. And I'm an IT person for about 20 something years. Basically, kind of all the bells and whistles that we could possibly think of putting into one room. and man, a lot of mistakes on the way. Holy smokes! It's actually been it's been the kind of the fun behind it. So I did kind of want to throw one little thing out there. I think I was talking to you about this before. Little plug kind of for our YouTube channel, because we are a lot of those mistakes that have been made in the past. I want to talk about this. Talk about all the different types of cameras that we've done. Everything from audio to lighting to the air condition to all the different things we've done here. We're going to start doing a little series of videos to show people the things that were done wrong, the things that worked in progression, and where we've got it now. Because I swear I could probably do it all over again for about 1/10 of the money that's been wasted. Man, I really hate to see other people kind of go through all of that themselves.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that would actually be unbelievably helpful for
we had
people
talked
starting
about
out.
it. And Alan and I are going to, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. But Alan, that is a really great noble thing. I want to throw this out before we go any further. It says, Charlene says, Morgan says hi, Daddy, because that has to be up there. That's like really important to everyone. So, with that being said, hi to everybody else. Hi, Alberto. Hi, Ron. Hi, everybody. I'm not ignoring you. Hi, Tony. I don't want anybody to think that they're being ignored, but we have to put that up. That's priority.
That's right.
So yeah, so this is going to be on Billiard live streams. This is going to be some type of series, right? I was going to get to that, but you beat me to it. It's going to be some type of no, I was. I wanted to talk about that 6 setup first, but it's going to be some type of series where we ourselves. I spent on a Sony camera almost $800. You can get a Logitech for like $90, and it works pretty gosh darn good. I mean, they're like small things. I mean, it depends on what you have and what you want.
Yeah, what you're going for. I mean,
yeah.
obviously,
So
the
I'm
more
going to let Alan
expensive the
finish,
camera.
but I just wanted to make sure that Charlene and Morgan were heard. But go ahead. Yeah.
We do have to talk about the baby. So for
We
those
do
of you that don't know,
that's coming up. Don't steal my thunder, Alan. Come on.
well, I've got to say that I've got next month, 2 years old. She is adorable. So
she is a beauty.
Well, it's easy for me to say that, but and if anybody doesn't agree, well, come on, we don't really care about that. But but yes, to your previous point, it is going to be a series of just that, because one of the things, like the very first one I want to talk about, because of some of the mistakes that I've seen, I've had everything from a $35 webcam. Even our phones, because there's even applications that you can put on your phones that will keep scoreboard and all, which is nice, and we don't see that right now. But from some really cheap but very, very powerful webcams, all the way up to I've had a few DSLRs. I've had some really nice camcorders, all the way up to about the $2,500 range. Of course, for an photography expert or videography expert, that's chump change, but to us that means a whole lot. And then I think whenever all that's said and done, you'll be surprised on what it is that I have the most of in here when it comes to those kind of price comparisons, when you're comparing the clarity and things like that. So definitely one of the things that I want to go through. I get a lot of questions about the scoreboard too, so we're going to talk about that on a separate session. But yeah, we're going to kind of step through the whole process on things that I see other people doing exactly the same that I did, and hopefully I can stop somebody from going a wrong direction to come back around.
Yeah. So they're able to actually buy the house that they always wanted instead of putting it right there in the place. Alberto Sanchez, one of our tour members. Hi, Alberto. He says, "Wow, I thought Upstate Al's setup was huge. This gentleman is awesome." We all know who Upstate Al is, but
yes,
remember that
absolutely.
Upstate Al? Yeah, he's a great guy. A long time.
Al's got to have his stuff mobile.
He has to have his stuff right. Go from city to city, state to state. I don't know, so he has to make sure that his stuff is a little more compact. And that's Ellison, Alan Ellis. I'm Al. Can I call you Al? I guess I did it again.
What does that mean? I'm like downstate Al, or
so Alan. This is not even an interview.
All right, let's get it back under control. Curtis, help.
I'm good.
Easy. Bring it in. That's right.
Got it. So no, so seriously, so he has the ability to keep all this equipment. But like he said, this is going to be something that I really believe it's a really neat idea. And I think that it's going to truly help a lot of people in multiple ways. And I just want to touch on that. And first and foremost, like he said, mistakes, time, which is our precious commodity, right? And then money is another huge thing. And you don't have to go searching online for these classes. He's going to have them readily available to you on his YouTube channel. Right, Alan?
Correct. I'd
Right.
have them on both, but you might have noticed now that YouTube is starting to delete our videos after like 30 to 60 days or something like that. Well, that does us no good. So we're going to start using our YouTube, or excuse me, our YouTube channel a little bit more because they keep it for a much longer period of time.
Okay. But you know you're able to search
Yes.
and he can also put it on his Facebook page. You know,
Mhm.
I'm sure that he'll let everybody know. So anybody who's tuning in now, all of the three people that are tuning in now, on my Facebook page, no, in all sincerity, share the video, please. It's one of the best ways to help us. Uh, and and please let someone know about this, because it's going to educate people on what they need to do. There are so many people who aren't live streaming to their pages now because they really don't know how, they don't know what equipment to use. I get these questions all the time. Gloria, Gloria,
Absolutely.
Gloria. Yeah. So now you have a person that you can go to and get it while it's free, because if Alan ends up, charging for his services, it's not going to be cheap. So I say jump on the wagon, get over to his page, go over to Taking Shots, join, go over to Billiard live stream page, click like, follow, and you'll learn a lot. Alberto always had problems with setups and dual cameras and things of that nature while he was doing the virtual. Alberto, this is perfect, definitely perfect for you. Tony Russell, yes, you too. Make sure that you take the class, please, Tony. That's my custom cue maker. Tony, amazing cue maker. So, I don't want to jump around, but yeah, so this is going to be something extraordinary. And not to like take the thunder, but I'm going to be doing something about how to start your own tour. Alan and I had talked about that as well. So if you guys want to know a little bit about tour or running a tour, I'm going to be doing the same thing, just a different facet of it. Maybe how you can acquire sponsors and things of that nature, sometime in the near future. So Alan, speaking of Morgan says hi, Daddy. Is there something that you want to talk about? And then maybe we could talk a little bit more about the tables that are there, and how many tables, what kind of tables, and maybe some matches you've had, and unless you don't want to skip around, you tell me what direction you'd like to go.
So I do like the topic whenever a very specific question that I had whenever it comes to my daughter. Like I said before, she's just about 2 years old. You do a lot with women in pool, which, by the way, you've had some phenomenal videos out there, and different
Thank
chats
you.
that you've done with people. The content that comes back from them has been amazing, and I'll even say that. Some of those people are they're like heroes. I've been watching them since the early 2000s, whenever they were still on ESPN, and they're kind of role models for the correct way to play a game. All that being said,
Thank you.
pool's not always quite that glamorous. It's not always that professional of a sport, because we've all been in places that, playing a tournament that maybe we didn't really want to be into. So now I have a 2-year-old daughter, and we have a lot of equipment for her to be able to play on, be able to practice on. A lot of people that could be able to help with that. A lot of opportunity in this one particular sport that we love so much. But because of the latter part of what I said, with the people that you have the potential to meet, it makes this kind of a hard subject. Is this even a game that I want to introduce her to, as opposed to some other sports that don't quite have the stigma of what pool does. And the reason I ask that I wanted to ask you here specifically is because, obviously you were a young lady in pool, and you've kind of grown up so long in that scene. Well, that made you that I said that a very wrong way, but you get the point.
Yes.
What
No
I mean, what
worries.
would be your feelings, or what would be your advice to somebody that's trying to decide whether or not they want their daughter, potentially even son, growing up in this atmosphere? Is it going to get better? I guess is part of it. Is it always going to be problems?
So this is kind of a dual interview, which is kind of cool. I didn't really expect
You're
this.
welcome.
No, I'm an open book, really, to be quite honest. We all know this is an extremely male dominated industry, and that there's always been that who's better, women or men. Look at these Fargo rates, and then we had a real way to compare, as opposed to, or what people think are would be a real way to compare Fargo rate, as to who's actually better in the way of pool. So I can tell you that, and I'm going to throw Savannah Easton's name out there because she's a 12-year-old. She just turned 12, February 8th. And she is going through it right now. I can only speak for myself, but I'm not anywhere near April Larson or any of these women who started, like Allison Fisher, on the panel, Joanne Mason Parker on the panel, Kelly Fisher on the panel. Those are women that really can answer this question in a much better way. And if they're viewing it at all, they like to throw their input in, please feel free. We are definitely listening. I can tell you that one, I had very thick skin. To be in this industry or to be just a player, you have to have really thick skin, because you're either admired or you're hated. There's really not much of an in between, and that goes for somebody behind the screen or somebody who's playing pool. Um, Understand that it being so male dominated is going to bring about a lot of animosity. When you're successful, not everyone's going to be happy for you. And A billiard hall usually isn't the best place to meet, just like a bar, your soulmate, if that's what you're looking for. Um, what I would say the main thing is yeah, I would definitely allow my child, should I have had one, to play pool. I want my child to follow whatever passion he or she desires, and the reason I want that is you're because you're taking away from what could potentially be an amazing career. Imagine if um, Savannah's mom did not allow her to do what she's done, right? And just had her playing at home. She would not be where she is today.
Mm-hmm.
And could you imagine where she's going to be? So the most important thing is to have the parents be there in a protective manner, but not an obsessive manner, to make sure that they filter things properly and appropriately, and to make sure that they have their children be around the type of people that they would basically allow in their own home. So I don't know if that answers the majority of your question, or if I
It
just
does.
answered it correctly. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
Yeah. I
one
definitely would. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Please,
one
Curtis.
other thing is the fact that a lot of the up and coming professional ladies and professional men are trying to, for the life of the sport, they're trying to clean up the reputation to try to bring. I mean, that's something that's been. I mean, we all know that that's something that's been going around for years and years now, because it started out seedy back in the 30s and 40s, the scene, and then it cleaned up a little bit, and then kind of boomed in like the 80s and early 90s, and then it kind of fell into the seedy again, and they're trying to bring it back into the the mainstream and the classy, if you will. And that's it is a little bit more that way over in Europe, but over here it's not. It's stuck a little bit more in the seedy situation. The gambling and the old picture of the smoke-filled pool halls, and
Correct.
the hustler, color of money type of thing. But it's
Keep it
getting,
greedy.
yeah, it's getting, they're trying to bring professionalism in it because they're trying to legitimize pool, as a sport now. You can see
Yeah, but
that
his
happening.
question is really geared toward his
Well,
own
that's the
child, or
that's
looking
the
at it from
point.
a perspective.
As
Um,
as it gets cleaner, as it gets more of
but
as it gets more professional, quote unquote, then you're going to have it where it's more of a place where you don't mind, you know, having your daughter play in
yes and
this
no,
arena.
because action matches and Derby City Classic and all these other places are really significant parts of what keep people coming back. So
Mhm.
Correct.
when Alan has an action match over at Taking Shots Billiard live stream, um, that is going to bring in viewers because people like to see battles. They like to see that kind of stuff. It's not just always the clean cut. So the way Allison, grew up, she was always, at Joanne, they always had their professional clothes on, and the
Very.
WPBA is a certain way. Um, uh, the color of money brought a whole different side to pool. The hustler brought a whole different side into the pool. So some people will agree and some people won't agree. But as a he's asking as a from a female's perspective, what what he would want. Would I want my daughter going through what you had to go through? And I can honestly say, as a female, this is going to sound horrible, but it depends on. I know this is going to sound horrible, but hey, we're being real here. This is raw and live. Um, People aren't going to pay as much attention to someone who looks differently than someone else. So it's age appropriate, like what age, what dress size you wear, what you weigh, what your hair's cut like. Um, I spoke with a sponsor the other day, and they said, uh, how great of a player was Steffi Graf? And I said, okay. Does everybody know who Steffi Graf is?
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah. Why? We know the answer to that question, right?
Steffi Graf was pretty good.
She was pretty good, but she wasn't the best. That's part of it. So the parents, like I said, I think it's really important to kind of take it, filter these people, and if you want mentors for your child, or if you want specific places, kind of filter it to have those people who are teaching your child around your child, an instructor. Definitely, you really want a good instructor. Um, uh, and a good venue, or you can just, do what he did and build your own home and have people come in that way. Build your own pool
so
hall.
so to kind of expand on one of the things that both you and Curtis were just talking about, I mean, the reality comes down. It's one of the things that I like to try at least to do here, and I would urge anybody that is turning a camera on. I don't care if it's your cell phone or anything else. It's up to us to make this sport look as good as the amount of work that we've put into it, amount of work that we've put into learning how to play. Like myself, I've taken lessons from the late great, and may he rest in peace, Scott Lee, master PBI instructor, and a phenomenal person. Brings all the professionalism in the world to exactly what it is that we're doing. So whether it's coming here and telling people you're not going to act up on on my live stream, same thing as what you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing as anybody. I don't care if you turn it on in a bar, act appropriately. Try to make. We don't get to see this on TV, short of getting like Dazen or some of those types of things that's actually doing the tournaments. So whenever you see some of the different live streams, they're doing things that hurt the reputation of billiards in general. Man, shame on you, because you shouldn't be doing that. We're trying to make this as professional as we can, and I think it's up to us to make sure that happens.
Right. But that also brings in the question, what, so what does make this a professional sport? Is it the appropriate behavior? Is it the sportsmanship? Is it the fact that people aren't smoking in the background? During the Moscone Cup, you hear people cheering, you hear people calling things out, you know. When you're in a tournament, there's so much sharking going on. Is that part of what's bringing billiards down? This is multifactorial. The answer to why billiards hasn't been the way it is a multifactorial uh, uh, answer. It could be about tournament directors not doing their job properly or not, being great. It could be about the quality of live streams or just play in general, or what kind of players are sitting up there. Do people really want to see 450 Fargos battling it out? Or do they really want to see good pool? Do they want to see clean pool? Do they want to see great pool? But then again, where does it all start? It starts with the juniors. And when you look at that, I feel like there's a double standard, because the juniors and the Fargos, the people in their 30s who have the same Fargo rate, people want to see the juniors because they're growing, they're transforming. But to people who are in their 30s or whatever, have the same Fargo rate and miss the same shots, they don't want to see, because they're like, well, they kind of had their opportunity. It's kind of like this really, like, it's a really judgmental. It's a judgmental industry. I'm sorry to have to say it, but I speak my words, and
you see that in any sport, though. I mean, you see like junior football or little league baseball. You see everybody wants to watch that.
It's a really sexist industry. There's a lot of misogyny here. I'm sorry. I might lose a lot of viewers. I don't have a great amount right now to begin with. We're just getting back into live stream, but you know what? Misogyny exists. I'm sorry. It's real. A girl asked in Pool is Not Dead the other day, and she asked, how do you deal with this? I said, do what you do. Don't worry about this, don't worry about that, and let your resume speak for itself. That's the only way you're going to get ahead in this world. And that's it. So yeah, Alan, my answer is Charlene, and you just make sure that you put a nice little semi bubble around there. Allow everybody's going to have their hands dirty. That's the only way to make sure that you're never, if you worry about getting sick all the time, washing your hands, you're not going to have a life. You're going to live in a bubble. But make sure that she's just well protected, and let her follow her passion.
Yeah, and it's and she kind of comes from, I mean, she can't help but get into pool, to be quite honest with you, because her Charlene that you were talking about, that's her grandmother, and used to play on like the regional tours. Her daughter plays pool. That's actually how her and I met, which is my wife. Obviously I don't know how Morgan's gonna miss playing pool. I think it's just gonna, she just has to, and that's just her job. But we'll see how that goes on. But again, going to the point of it's our job, even obviously with her, of teaching her how to be that professional person that people look up to, not the complaining one that everybody talks about and things like that. So
right,
unless you're going to be the black hat person, and then let her rip. But that's beside the point.
It really is important, because the respect that you give to the game, the respect that you give to, I mean, you saw Jeanette Lee would always be signing cue balls, and people would come over, can I have your autograph? I was one of those. You want people to come over to you because they respect you, and they respect your game, and they respect the way that you respect the sport. And those are the people that you really want to surround yourself with, because you want to, my father always taught me, you want to mimic people who are successful, but you want to mimic those who are successful with morals, integrities, and value, because if they don't have it, they're only going to fall to ashes at some point. And that's the key to longevity. And that's the key to great sponsors and great relationships with your sponsors, is to always do the right thing. So anyway, that's my really short answer. If anybody knows me, that's the short answer.
That's true.
So yeah. So Alan, why don't you get into interviewing a little bit?
Why don't I?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that question out now.
Wow, you stumped me with that one. You could have thrown that one at me a little earlier to think about, but honestly, I can't say that I've really thought that much about it. We do have a few people, even in this area, that I'd like to do, that have even come in and done the commentating with me, that I've discussed it, but I guess it's just never pulled the trigger, never actually done it. it's not, I'm sure, as you can attest to, it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to do for everybody. You kind of do it naturally. So I mean, hats off to you, but just never really have.
Yeah, I mean, I just decided that I wanted to do an interview one day, and I didn't even think about what went into it. I just started to. It's what I loved. When I started my pool tour, I did it in 2 weeks. The pool tour in 2 weeks. That's I put it together, and that was it. When you have a passion for something, you don't look for excuses. You look for solutions
Mhm.
and ways. So hey, and uh, you're going to hear no a lot in this industry, right, Alan? You're going to hear a little no a lot in this industry, and it doesn't make a difference how many times you hear no. You're gonna end up where you want to be. So you just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
let's talk about. So you have that booth right over there, and then
Mhm.
what do we have behind the booth? We have one table, two table.
There is 2 tables over there. Actually, let's see
Okay.
if we can. Oh, wrong one.
I see it right on your screen. Okay, there we go. So we have
Oops. Gotta switch it back. Hold on.
no,
I'll
that's
put something in
okay.
my way. My mouse is yelling at me. Give me a second. All right, let's go. All right, so we got the table that's over here. That's the 9-foot table.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, do I have 7-foot table is not hooked up to the box right now. So there's actually 2 tables. There is a get that back over here. There is actually the 9-foot diamond table. That's the I think it's a 2015 model. And then right beside it, there's a 7-foot that is the 2018 model, right before they came out with, like, when they went back to wood. So it kind of got the a little bit of the best of both worlds. We always cover them with Simonis, surprisingly enough. The 9-foot, for the first time ever, put 760 on it, and every single person that has touched that table has absolutely loved it.
I love
Because
760. That's my baby. 760 is
oh
mine.
my
To be
god,
honest, it's
it is
fast.
like glass.
Yes.
It is so fast on that table. And a local gentleman here, Wes Burden of Billiard Fitters, has been taking care of the tables. He came and worked on this table and put the 7. It was actually his recommendation to try that one out, considering we were streaming. Put that on and said, "I think you'll like this. Try it out." All right. And that will probably be the only thing that's on that table from this point moving forward.
Oh, it's
Um,
good to hear. Thank you.
so the well, and it's never had anything but Simonis, to be quite honest. So I can't even say that I compare it. But I mean, when you already got one that works that good, I mean, what else are you going to get? So um, also in the room, it's actually run by a couple of different air conditioning systems, a humidifier that's in that room. Everything is very temperature and humidity controlled. The entire atmosphere, as far as that goes. There's actually even a I can't remember the box is called, just to remove the static out of the room, because we keep it between 38 and 42% humidity, as well as
Hmm.
around the 71 mark on the temperature. Got the arena style lights or the perimeter style lights that's on there. We try to do everything, and there's a bar over there. We're not going to talk about that part. Um, so we try to keep it as perfect conditions as we can, so that every single
Right.
time that somebody walks in here, it is exactly the same
It's
as it was before.
consistent. So you want to
Yeah.
keep the consistency of the way the balls roll, the
Mhm.
temperature for the HR.
Yep.
The well, it's 760, but
Right.
I
Right.
think the other one does. The other one have 860 HR.
It does, and this one always, well, it kind of bounced back and forth. It most of the times it had the HR cloth. On occasions, I would put the regular 860 on it.
Hmm.
Um, and those two, they're very close. You could definitely tell a longevity difference a little bit with the HR. But and realistically, when it comes to, so before I started worrying so much about the humidity in that room, the 860 actually seemed to respond more to the humidity, I think, than the 760 did. because when it was sitting at closer to about 50 or 55, which typically speaking, that's inside your home is typically closer to those two numbers. Same with pool halls, large rooms, things like that, where it's not as easy to be able to control that kind of stuff. But you take that and you drop it all the way down to, that 40 kind of range. And it's a big difference. It's a tremendous difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So he has two tables in the back there. I just want to let's put up Izzy's comment really quickly. And thank you, Ron. And thank you, Alberto, again. No, I got it. So Alan, there's Izzy right there. There's
How's it
playing on
going,
your
Izzy?
stream. Because I'll definitely miss falling hand at least 2-3 times tonight. Izzy, I think I've got you beat there, but yeah. And here's something that you might want to take a look at. So Dorothy Gobbin, she's one of the tour players, says, "Good evening. I would have let all of my girls play if they wanted, and I can say for myself I would prefer to play in the professional arena compared to a bar setting. I do enjoy playing tournaments in places like Snookers and Bose as well." Hey, Dorothy, we have a tournament coming up over at Bose, just so you know. Not that I'm doing advertising here, but May 21st and 22nd, and you are welcome to join. It is open to the public in less than 24 hours.
And
All right.
thank you for that response, Dorothy. I really appreciate that.
Yep. Dorothy, she was, I believe she's residing in the main area right now. So she plays a lot out of different places, but Snookers and Bose Bose is like 9 minutes from my house, and Snookers is about 15. So two great venues, by the way. Shout out to Josh Soulier and Regina and Steve Goulding. So we were talking about, get into the mind and what's behind the live stream. That is way too complicated to do in the 35-40 minutes we've obviously passed. Raymond, Maine, and my basement mostly. Yeah, Dorothy has a pool table in her basement. Um, uh, all right, Dorothy, we're going to add you to the women's tournament. So
what's a real quick? What's a basement? We're in Florida. We don't.
Oh no, her basement.
In Florida, they don't have basements. Not really.
Oh, okay.
Not generally.
Okay.
We also don't have snow, so
yeah,
it goes both ways.
So Dorothy, I'll send you a PM or send me a PM later. But the long answer to this is the short answer to this is, sorry, it's the long one. Is that Alan is going to be doing a set of how to he's going to be talking about OBS, how to do some things with OBS, might be some hands-on things. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to benefit from this, because when you want to either start your own tournament or your own tour, or if you are helping out, you'll be able to understand, this is all I need. I need a Logitech. I need this. I need, this type of room, or this is what's going to work for me. Alan's gonna help you through it, and he's gonna be basically the guy that's gonna give you, the help that you need, that so you can get hits all over, and people are going to be able to watch. There's going to be more and more pool all over, and it's going to be because Alan has started this.
Sony Alpha 7 with a macro lens.
What is that?
What? Nothing.
Oh, you're talking about a setup? I'm not listening.
No,
basements here in Florida would be flooded. Yeah, Ron, I could just imagine.
Yeah, just they're right at sea level. If you dig a basement
I'm from
in there,
New York,
you dig a basement in there, and you're gonna be. It's a pool. It's not a basement.
We have one right in the backyard. It's a basement. It's full of water. It's great during the summertime.
So, Alan, is there anything that you wanted to talk to us about, or to tell the public up and coming, or shout out to anybody, sponsor wise?
Well,
I saw it up on the screen, so I figured I would just bring it up, mention it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we are, currently sponsored by Jay Flowers. That's actually how I met one certain lady that happens to be on here with us, and but they've been great, and can't definitely can't say anything bad. We've had a few sponsors in the past, but for the most part, right now we're pretty much we're pretty much running pretty lean whenever it comes to that because I guess because I don't like to answer to people. I don't know. That's
Uh,
um,
live
but
the
we
life of a leader right there.
that's
Um,
right.
um, yeah. So guys, get ready to learn the very basics on what you need to do. This is a great opportunity for people who want some place to start. I really can't say enough about how this is going to really turn tons of people into what they will consider gurus at this. Um, Alan, I believe, had talked to me about potentially stepping in, um, and that's something I need to really think about because I won't shut up. So, well, it's my buddy right here. No, in all sincerity, and I'm hoping that this helps you guys out. I know there's a tournament director. He's really really good. He's actually a graphic designer. His name is Eric Tang. I think that he's going to be starting doing live streaming. He's right now going through Facebook, uh, but I think that this could benefit a whole lot of people and really bring the industry to a different level. You are going to see live streams galore once this is out. So, um,
if I can throw one more little piece in there as
yeah,
well. I to be honest, I love answering questions. So whenever it comes to, there is nothing here that's a secret. There is no secret sauce. There's nothing proprietary that's here. If anybody does have any questions, again, I'm not an expert. I've learned a lot through mistakes, just like I said before. But if you have any questions about anything that we have done, are doing, plan to do, whatever the case may be, feel free to reach out at any time. You can catch us on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever the case may be. Just get in touch, and I'll do the best I can to answer. And hopefully, I'm right. We'll see how that goes.
well, judging from Alan's success, in all honesty, I'm going to say that he's doing a phenomenal job. Uh,
Okay.
his lowest amount of viewers is probably when I got up there and played. But my seat was warm and it was fine when I played Thai. People are like 1K in the middle. This is an unfair match. People don't know what led up to that match. It was a disastrous night. I'm not making excuses. He absolutely beat me, but it was a disastrous night. But Alan still said, wow, boy, this is going to bring my ratings down. But he still let me play. And it was a lot of fun. So look, guys, I'm going to send a bunch of, please go over there and like Billiard live stream. Oh, you know what? I think Alan deserves some sponsors. I truly do. So let me ask a couple of questions since we're going to be, cutting this off in just a few moments. Alan, your average viewers are like 30, 50 viewers, depending on the match, right?
For the
Somewhere
most
in there?
part, yes.
About that. Why don't you tell us about the time that, and I don't know if it was views or reaches. Was it 3.3 mil?
That was Justin Hall and Brandon Johnson playing a crazy spot. And if you haven't heard of who Justin Hall is, we probably haven't been watching pool for too long, especially with the Moscone Cup. And that was unadvertised. I think I put up a little flyer a few hours before, and it absolutely blew up. He's been here a couple of times. He's actually a friend of mine. The previous time he was here, we were very, very new. It was about 11 o'clock at night. He just happened to be sitting in the back, and he was like, "Hey, I want to play." And I was like, "Oh, if you don't mind, I'm gonna flip the camera on." And it blew up then too. So some people definitely have that ability. We immediately followed that with the if you happen to catch it, the match of the century between two of the best promoters on this sport that I've ever seen, Mr. Dominic Dunn and Andrew Cleary, and they did a phenomenal job putting that together. We ended out between YouTube and Facebook at an unbelievable 998 concurrent viewers at our peak. And for most live streamers that's not a production company, that's pretty phenomenal. And I actually give that credit to those guys and how well they put all of this together. So we'll have a few that'll cross the 100 mark. We'll have a few that'll even hit, a couple of hundred or so. Most of the times, even when we watch like most of the different live streams, even the popular ones that are around 30, 40, 50, that kind of seems to be around the magic number. And the trick to it, see how long we can entertain them and keep them on.
Yeah, we were doing well. I stopped for like, oh gosh, I want to say 6 months to revamp the website and do a bunch of stuff that now we're doing live tournaments, in-person tournaments in Florida, North Carolina, California. Thank you to Jay Omer, Laura George, and Steve Jennings. We're thinking about bringing some other people who want to in. But we were doing some pretty crazy hits when virtual was out as well. And then we went to the Kelly Fisher Challenge, and we were doing really well there. And then, like I said, we took some time off to revamp stuff, and now we're getting back and we're trying new stuff. I don't know how well it's working. Sometimes it takes time, but we're waiting. Alan's been really consistent in what he's done, and when I saw that, I remember tuning in briefly that night because I had other plans, but I was like, wow, I really, really wanted to see that. So can they go back and watch it any place, Alan?
Absolutely, both on our Facebook page, the Billiard Livestream Facebook page, as well as YouTube. We typically simulcast it between both of those at the same time, anytime we put the matches up. So the longer history is going to be on YouTube. And so, pick either one that works for you.
Okay. All right. So you guys can go back and view that if you want to. We're not going to spoil it and tell you what the score was.
It was 3. No, sorry.
But feel free to go on there. So does anybody have any questions for Alan right now? Because we're going to close out. So let's take some questions. If anybody is out there, wants to know really quickly.
I don't think anybody asked any questions at the beginning, so
let me take a look. Hello,
for
Gloria.
the people in the area, I see my boy Chad Kozer over here. Him and Stephanie Mitchell are going to be running a tournament in the middle of May.
Hey, there he is. Go ahead. I apologize.
That's going to be, no problem. I think that's going to be a pretty good one, but I don't do too much remote streaming. Matter of fact, going back to what you were saying before with Upstate Al and those people that actually are able to do everything mobile, man, hats off to you guys. That is not an easy thing to do. No. We've got, XPC and all that's here that, being able to pick up that kind of equipment and take it somewhere and set it up remotely, man, that takes some coordination. I've done it a few times, and that's dedication.
We did it once. We did it during one of my matches. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's not even.
But I'm saying
extent,
like
but yeah,
that kind of emotion. What's the next tournament you'll live stream, Ron Richardson? Is that to me or to Alan? We're going to be having a women's event, women's virtual event. Alan, what are you going to be streaming next? Mom, I'd like to know.
For the next tournament. Now we may have some more people that's actually here locally, which is what we usually do. The next tournament will be at Corner Pockets. It's over in Largo, and that's I believe it's going to be May 14th or 15th. But watch their Corner Pockets page. Watch our page. We'll make sure that it gets up there.
Okay, there you go. And then Alan. Okay, thank you very much. And Ron, by the way, is a Florida tour representative for us. And then Chad, can we ask Chad? You wanna get good people out there. There's no reason to be greedy about things. Chad, is it how is it pronounced? Kosher? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, Chad Kosher. So you said that he runs a tournament over in Florida or a tour or.
Him and Stephanie Mitchell kind of combined effort. Stephanie Mitchell is a regional pro, and she is it's her pool hall that they're going to be taking care of that one. So when those two, they're both great friends. When those two call, you go running. So that's the one that we'll be out at.
Okay, and where will that be out of? What venue?
It is called Corner Pockets in Largo, Florida,
Corner
and
Pockets
it's
in
right
Largo.
by the St. Pete, Tampa area.
And you said what was the date again?
I believe it's going to be May 14th or 15th. And Chad, if I'm giving a spoiler here that hadn't been released, you can yell at me later.
No, you can let me. I'm the one asking the questions. But just trying to get some traffic going in that area. So yeah, and plus, like I said, we're out there. We're trying to gain some people as well. Hold on one second.
He says yes, 14th and
Yes.
14th
Chad,
through 15th.
14th through the 15th. Okay, so 2-day event. And Chad, what is it? You please feel free to type in there what you're doing, 9-ball, 10-ball, what discipline it is, races, or feel free, send me a flyer. I'll put it up. I don't mind at all. So anyway, so Alan, it was great to see you again. It's great to chat again. And what is that, Curtis? Oh, they're my cat's playing with a laser. This is all hearing in the background. The guys, this is what they like to do during my interviews. This
Should have
isn't
given
even
them
a
a
formal
mic.
interview. What is that?
Said you should have given them a mic.
You have no clue. Wait till this live stream goes off. So anyway, so yeah, Alan, I'm definitely looking forward to what's up and coming. And if anybody wants to rent a room, or get on a live stream, feel free to message Alan, and he's when he has a time outside of family, he's gonna definitely be able to help you out. So let's click on that right there. 9-ball double elimination handicap based info will be released soon. Gotcha. All right, cheers back at you. Thank you so much. So we really didn't give too much away when it comes to live streaming, but we're going to say that it's not the easiest of tasks, especially when you have to learn yourself. Isn't that right, Kurt? Yeah, when you get thrown, from having something a live stream you really never really gone crazy with before. Learning OBS graphic design and all that. I can't believe it. I can't believe we transitioned this quickly.
I got to say,
I want that setup though.
Oddly, I mean, like you go into it too. I mean, if you have somebody that has no idea about computers, I can understand it's difficult, and they have to learn about computers. They have to learn about programming sometimes, different things, and I can understand where it's difficult there. But when you go into it and I mean, I'm not an in-depth programmer, but I know some programming. I know a lot about different software programs. I'm very adept with things like that. I learn very quickly, and yeah. Anyway, and it was surprisingly a pain to get everything going. Even
Curtis did a great job.
Even knowing a lot of the stuff, in a general way, that it's amazingly difficult sometimes.
I have a question for Alan. What is the favorite part of live streaming for you?
For me, I would actually have to say, and this might be a surprise, but I would actually have to say all the different people that I've met. We've had a little over 200 people and a little over 500 matches that's happened here at Taking Shots. I have met so many people that without this, I probably would not have. And they've been, 99.99% of them have been phenomenal. And it's been a lot of fun. And I think that's kind of what part of the biggest driver is of it. once I learned that I really can't play pool that well, but I could do really well if I put 7 inches of glass in front of me. Oh, this became a lot of fun.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, isn't that the best thing in the world?
I have
You
a
got to
question
click
from
that.
Dorothy Garvin. I found this really funny. Hey, Dorothy, that's too funny. Alan, how does all of this equipment affect your electric bill?
Well, it would, but on top of the house over here, we have 25 kilowatts of solar panels
Solar
up there,
panels.
85 solar panels to take care of all of this. So um, that if it wasn't for that, yeah, this would be painful.
Yeah, that you would be seeing a divorce sometime in the near future. No, I'm joking.
Right.
I'm totally joking. Um, yeah. So I'd have to say that I agree with him. You know, like that's really important because the most important part of the tour for me is probably when we went virtual. It was a kind of a blessing. It was difficult, and thank you to I Want Simonis. I want to send a shout out to I Want Simonis. They did a lot for me, lot for me. Ivan Lee, president and CEO of I Want Simonis, and Arameth as well. Um, they really helped keep us above, yeah, huge. Um, but it was the fact that Ron Richardson, Jeff Maloney, Tom Kosha, um, uh, um, Brian Davis. So we have New York, Tom Kosha, New York, Brian Davis, North Carolina, Jeff Maloney. Uh, it was in, help me out here, Ohio, Ron Richardson, Florida, and a
Jay
couple
Omer
of
in
other people.
California.
Yeah, they all ended up meeting in North Carolina
Okay.
at a tournament, the Efren Reyes farewell tournament. And when I found out that what people who never knew each other became so close and became really like family,
Mm-hmm.
that really warmed my heart. Nate Johnson was another. He's another regular, but he wasn't able to make it. Nate was probably building another pool table or doing whatever Nate does with his pool tables and his cues. He's obsessed, by the way. But that was like one of the most warm feelings I ever encountered. You know,
Yeah,
is
it's cool to bring
bringing
people
people
together.
to
Yeah.
bringing people together. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely. You know, and you have it right there, so it's a lot cooler for you because you get to just like talk to them, you know, while you're streaming.
Yep.
And how I wish I didn't have to put up my green screen in back of me on my couch just so you guys know where I am. I don't have that right there.
Couple of
Someday.
monitors, couple of wires, piece of little camera. You can get this. It's that easy.
Well, I don't have the room right now, but I will be moving, and with that, I will be getting a nice little setup and my diamond pool table and my iCat system. Nate Johnson popped in. So you guys are gonna see what the iCat system's like too. It was a great time meeting all of the guys. Ron Richardson, laugh out loud, done building pool tables for a while. Yeah, he just Nate just made his light out of a pool table.
His old
It's
pool
the
table is his
coolest
light.
thing. It's
Oh,
absolutely,
nice.
yeah, it's sweet. So Alan, well, I'm happy the interview was on you, about you. Uh, um, and I think I'm gonna have uh, Alan in the booth with me for a couple of things. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but there's something big I'm planning, and over the time, I am looking to have a couple of people uh, in the booth. We're supposed to be having some more interviews, some really uh, big people. I'm also going to be interviewing people who are not professionals and who are not, uh, uh, you know, great straight all on across the board. And I don't care about the views that I get. I do this because I love doing it, and if I can change anyone in just one person or help somebody out in any small way, I want to do it. And you know, I know that Alan may not want sponsors, but if people can see this and they want to get involved and they want their name up there, Alan is a very loyal individual when it comes to his work. He has a great work ethic, and I hope that he establishes some stuff right now. Um, because Alan gets some pretty good views overall, and like I said, he does his job when it comes to sponsorship. So I can attest to that for his
I
morals,
appreciate that.
integrity, and value. All right, so Chad, good luck with the tournament. Dorothy, I hope to see you at the women's. Probably be at the end of the month. There are about 10 or 12 women. We're going to go virtual again. Alan, all you have to do is wear some lipstick and a skirt. You're all good if you want to join in. I'm just saying. Curtis could be your partner if we have a partner style.
I get it. Don't ask, don't tell.
um, but anyway, it was great to have you on. As I said, we're going to be interviewing. I'm not going for the pros all the time. We're not going for all that. We're gonna have people on that enjoy what they do, make the pool world a better place, and Alan's one of them. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So Ron, get in there. Dorothy, please. Nate, Ron, guys, if you're not familiar with them, go click like. I'm gonna share Alan's page myself, and I'm gonna see if we can get maybe, let's see, 200 more likes by tomorrow night. What do you think? You want to bet $1 on that? I'll pay people to do it just so I could win the bet.
A signed dollar?
Oh man, I can't believe you just smacked me like that. You mean the one that Ty has sitting up on his wall? Ty Speedwell sitting up on his wall, like he has a picture of him and his girl, and just like boom, sitting right in there. Yeah. Dorothy, you'll take that bet. So you're betting for me. You're betting. Wait, is Dorothy saying that he's not or will get 200 likes? Yeah. So anyway, all right. So Ron Richardson is probably up for an interview. I promised him an interview a long time ago. I think he's going to be up in April. Ron beat Steve Miserak, 14-1 player. I'm betting he will. Yes, he will, Dorothy. I'm with you on that. Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this interview with my buddy here, and we'll be more serious in the future. But sometimes you just have to let it out. And like I said, if someone didn't watch this, spread the word. Spread the word. Spread the video. Help us out, but spread the word that people. Thank you very much, Ron. Appreciated. Spread the video that word that Alan's going to be doing this. And Alan, will this be free of charge?
Absolutely. Always is.
Okay. So being free of charge, everybody, you could send stars, you could do something nice. Maybe you could, Alan can set up some type of PayPal. I know I'm putting him really on the spot, but you can always donate. You could always donate to a good cause. All right, everybody. Alan, thank you again. And I'd like to thank my own sponsors, which I can't remember all of them, but let's try to go through this here. First and foremost, I Want Simonis, Aramis, Diamond, Kamui, Littman Lights, Tony Russell Hughes, Bulletproof, Narragansett. Just give me a few seconds here as they scroll through. I just say iCat. Yep, Kamui. I think I've got them all. I have to do this. This is sad. I have to do this underneath the table. Yeah. We will be talking to, let's see, what's our next interview? What's today? Wednesday? Savannah Easton is going to be on Friday at approximately 6 o'clock, 6:30. That's what we have coming up next for you. And Alan, did I hear that you were going to bring me on for an interview? Is that what I heard? I'm not sure.
In person at that.
In person.
And you're going to pay for my plane ticket so I can get there, and my hotel stay.
Let me see how many points I've got on my airline, and we'll talk.
Okay. All right. Good enough. Good enough. Alan, seriously, thank you for joining. It's a pleasure to have you on.
I definitely appreciate the invite. Again, you've been doing such a phenomenal job. I hope you keep it up for a very, very long time. And anytime you need somebody to fill in a spot, you can give me a call. We're always here for you. You too, Curtis.
Thank you.
Oh, that sounded so sweet. Okay. This, like I said, this is more of a friendly interview, everybody. This wasn't, this wasn't like, we're friends. So, All right, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.